Eric Nicksick reveals that Alex Pereira will be cornering Sean Strickland once again for his upcoming rematch against Dricus Du Plessis next week. Alex actually cornered Sean in the first fight with Dricus back at UFC 297, where Sean lost via split decision. Alex knocked Sean out in the first round when they fought back in 2022. The two have since established a friendship and have trained together multiple times. Sean joined Alex's training camp for Khalil Roundtree. Speaking to the Schmo, Nicksick said, "We will have Alex Pereira in the corner, so dropping the news right now. He's a good friend of Sean. He's a great training partner. Obviously these guys have fought, but after the fight, I think it takes a man to go and learn from the guy who caught you with something. These guys trained with each other a ton. Sean went up there to help him get ready for Khalil Roundtree, and I love having him, man. It's great energy. So we just talked yesterday. We were going to have the fourth, and it was going to be Alex. So I can't wait having him." Michael Venom Page versus Shara Bullet goes down at UFC Saudi Arabia this weekend. Considering both fighters are primarily strikers, the expectation is that the fight will stay standing. Shara Bullet has 0 takedown attempts in his UFC career and doesn't plan on changing that this weekend. He says he will be the first person to make MVP shoot for a takedown. Speaking to MMA Junkie, Shara said he's a 10-time kickboxing champion with light contact kickboxing. "I'm a Russian Muay Thai champion. I fought in stadiums in Thailand and other places. I have the status of master in sports in different fighting categories. In different fighting sports, I have better striking, I have better cardio. I think when we're in the octagon together, there's going to be nowhere for him to run." That's different because these kickboxers, they usually just fight for points. They lightly touch, they tap, they slap almost. But when it comes to Muay Thai and Lethwei, the folks who do those types of sports, they kick and hit so hard as to break a bone of their opponent. It's every punch and every hit could be a fight-ending punch. I've had 20 fights in MMA at this point, and I've never went for a takedown. I watched his fights. It doesn't look like he goes for takedowns too much, but I'm going to be that person. I'm going to make MVP be the first one to jump for a takedown. It shows that I'm one of the best strikers when it comes to the middleweight division or the welterweight division. I'm going to show when it comes to my striking, there's no equals to me. In this fight, on my side is the strength, the power. On his side is the speed and the movement. As for the knockout on February 1st, all I'm going to say is do not blink. Just watch the fight. You want to see it. You don't want to miss anything. Conor McGregor was not happy today with his former friend and fellow Irishman Paul Hughes. Hughes lost a close majority decision to Usman Nurmagomedov over the weekend at PFL Road to Dubai. Right after the fight, Conor said that he not only thought Hughes won, but said he dominated the fight. Today, however, Conor has changed his tune. Some footage emerged of a conversation between Paul Hughes and Khabib Nurmagomedov after the fight. Hughes said, "I'm not like this other guy. I'm my own man," referring to Conor.
"I'm not like this other guy. I'm my own man. I'm not like this other guy. The media try to make us like not respect, but you know I always have respect."
Conor reacted to that video saying, "Too right. You're not. Hashtag bumhole liquor." Conor then went on to insult Hughes for carrying an Irish flag and being from Northern Ireland. He said, "Get that flag off you. You little know what you are from up there." He ended it off with, "Lick my arse. I'm farting in your face. Foreign hairy whole arse liquor. Yup, the real Irish. These vermin f***s." Paul Hughes responded to Conor. He wrote, "At the Notorious MMA, always said you were the GOAT. Paid homage at every opportunity. But coming at my Irish identity just shows where your head is at." Khabib Nurmagomedov gave his 2 cents on this situation. He reposted Paul Hughes' quote. He wrote, "You are a real Irishman, Paul Hughes, and not a rapist and drug addict like this b****." Last week, the new MMA promotion GFL released a trailer showcasing all of the fighters they recently signed. It appeared to be made mostly with AI, and the majority of the MMA community found it to be extremely cringe. Michael Bisping and Paul Felder agree that it was cringe. They also question where the GFL is getting the funds to be paying these former UFC fighters these huge purses. Tyron Woodley, who recently signed with the promotion, claims that they are paying him as much as high-level boxers make. Bisping and Felder wonder how long this can last.
Hey, listen, cool? Sure. Cringe a little bit.
Big time cringe, Michael. Big time cringe. Not cool. Not cool.
I saw it and I'm like, what's going on? And then Rebecca was like, it looks like AI. They've definitely, it's not AI. I think they did actually have to clad those suits, shall we say, and get all superhero-ish. And
they better save some money for the fighters that they're apparently paying. I mean, it looks like some...
there was a few wrinkles smoothed out. They definitely Instagrammed the shit out of those faces. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They are. I hope they all get paid. I hope they make a ton of money. You know what I mean?
Me too, man. I'm with you. And I agree with your son, too, that if it is, in fact, used in that way to then foster and bring up new talent, great. But we don't know that. We don't know that yet. So we'll see. But if they do that, then yes, smart strategy there. But let's see how long it can last, because obviously a lot of those people are going there because they think they're getting paid pretty well. It sounds like a lot of money. There's a lot of big names and a lot of guys that were making a lot of money before they left the bigger organization. So I just wonder where the bankroll's coming from.
Nassourdine Imavov thinks that if he beats Israel Adesanya at UFC Saudi Arabia this weekend, it will put him next in line for the middleweight title shot. Nassourdine says he does feel a lot of pressure and that Izzy is tricky and unpredictable. However, he sees himself winning.
Ce qui passait par ma tête.
I was very happy when they proposed me that fight. I knew that fighting Israel Adesanya was meaning fighting for the belt after, and that's my goal since the first day. So, was very happy.
J'ai hâte d'y être, justement pour ça.
Yeah, I can wait for that. I mean, I'm a real competitor in life and in everything. I can wait to measure myself against Israel and to prove what I'm worth.
Fait qu'il a un très bon coup d'œil.
The fact that he has so much experience, he has a good vision, he's tricky, very fast, explosive guy, and unpredictable.
Avec d'autres facteurs, ouais.
Yeah, a lot of pressure, but it's gonna be a mortal fight. It's gonna be who's the angriest, and I think I'm gonna be the one.
Israel Adesanya gave Khamzat Chimaev some praise today. Khamzat shocked the MMA community a few months ago by making easy work of Robert Whittaker, submitting him in the first round via face crank. Izzy says after seeing that, he knew that he had to watch out for Khamzat. Speaking to media ahead of UFC Saudi Arabia this weekend, Izzy said, yeah, he's really good. When he fought Rob and he beat Rob, that was one that made me go, well, when he fought Gilbert Burns was the one that I had respect for him. I was like, okay, he's got that dog in him. He can fight, he can dig deep, and he can still swing. When he fought Rob and beat him the way he did, it made me take notice. Like, okay, we gotta be careful with this guy. Watch out for this guy. Following his third-round TKO win over Eddie Alvarez this past weekend in BKFC, Jeremy Stephens revealed that he had an emotional moment with his wife a few days after the fight. Jeremy says he broke down in tears thinking about the struggles he went through in his life to get to the point where he is now.
I've always had like the back end of the stick where people are just trashing me, you know, and like I'm like some bum and like I'm a loser. And, you know, it really hit me this morning, man. I broke down in tears of everything in my life that I've had to endure, man. It really just kind of finally caught up with me, and I shedded some few tears with my wife, and it felt good, you know, to have her support, because I think most women, some women, you know, that ain't really loyal or ain't here for the long run. This is a hard game, and she was there, and it felt good to, you know, cry in her arms and just share this moment, and just super grateful, living in gratitude.
Jiri Prochazka is back to training following his TKO win over Jamal Hill at UFC 311. At the moment, it's unclear what's next for Jiri. However, after beating Jamal, he said his main goal is to have the trilogy with Alex Pereira. He posted this footage to his Instagram today. He wrote slow technical shadow boxing, but in the flow. Kevin Holland responds to the incredible amount of backlash he has received since his appearance on the Jaxxon podcast. For those of you who didn't see it, to quickly sum it up, Kevin was upset about a joke Rampage made months back regarding his weigh-in pose before the MVP fight. Kevin then went on Rampage's podcast prior to UFC 311, and it was extremely tense from the start. Kevin said that he wanted to fight Rampage, and then at one point told Rampage to shut the f up because he didn't know what a 45-70 was.
Do you know what a 45-70 is?
No, I don't.
Okay, then shut the f up.
You'll tell me to shut the f up?
Yeah.
Kevin posted this to his Instagram today. It says, but do you know what a 45-70 is? because that's what plays with my ego. And it's a photo of him and Rampage. In the caption, Kevin wrote, "Can't beat it, rock with it. 4 to 5 wins at 70, and we'll see Bucko got Rampage booming again. Hashtag 4570. Kevin then posted this to his Instagram story. He wrote, "Rampage and OG for sure. I blame his podcast partner for instigation. JK all me. Should have drunk that water before we got started. Cottonmouth Kev a dickhead."
Guys, it's a blast responding to all your comments. I'm getting off the getting in the shower. And just so you guys know, if you're judging me off 15 minutes of that podcast, it was 2 hours long. Watch the whole thing. I watched the last part when we were doing the mama jokes. That was actually funny. But
So after Kevin's appearance on the Jaxxon podcast, he went on to lose to Reiner de Ridder via submission in the first round at UFC 311. Many fans suggested that Kevin move back down to welterweight due to the fact that Reiner de Ridder was 22 pounds heavier than Kevin on fight day. Kevin posted a fight poster with Gunnar Nelson, a welterweight bout that takes place on March 22nd. He wrote, "Got rid of the X. Back at welterweight. Lock in, twin. I'ma see y'all around." Dricus Du Plessis has reacted to the clip of Israel Adesanya and Robert Whittaker talking about his fighting style. Here's what they had to say recently on Izzy's YouTube channel.
But one thing about Dricus is just awkward. He would throw just to stop you in your track. There was one I remember when I sprawled on him and like head hit the mat. I tried to kick him on the ground and I was like, "Get up." And I advanced and straight away he just went. And I had to stop. So it stopped my momentum and I had to reset. So he's just weird, man. He's like the best fighter in the world.
Dude.
He's so good.
Yeah.
I can't even fault him for it, eh?
Because it works. You know what I mean? Like, I remember when I fought him, in that like first 30 seconds, I was like, dude, he's so slow. Like, you know what I mean?
It's like out of nowhere. Like I'm like, bro, he just
dude. But then I got punched in the face. Like
in an interview with Fox Sports Australia, Dricus responded to that clip saying, "Well, it seems like they still haven't figured it out. I don't think it was derogatory. I think it was, well, even if it was, I guess it's irrelevant at this stage. But I do think that they're looking at it and going, how did this happen? And I guess that's a good thing. Look at me bringing people together. I don't think that Adesanya and Whittaker ever had real animosity toward each other. It was just so competitive. And now that it's over, it's cool to see how the sport, they both had the same vision. They both wanted to be the best in the world, and they fought twice. Adesanya beating Rob twice. Where I'm in my career right now, and where they are in their careers, I think it's two different spaces, and that's why they are able to now train together, because for them, they're not going to fight each other again. So it's amazing to see. And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's from Ryzen1X. It's in reference to the potential fight between Tony Ferguson and Dylan Dennis in GFL. It says if anyone can end Tony's losing streak, it's Dylan. The second one's from Texas AF. It says if Tony gets KO'd by Dillo Dennis, Tony should fight 10 more times. And the final one's from Let's Go. It's in reference to Mike Perry saying that the MMA community is more disrespectful now than when he was coming up. It says Perry talking directly to the Full Mount comment section. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.